All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me Sunil Verma. The headlines. India's COVID vaccination coverage crosses 97 crore 62 lakh mark. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia says India will achieve 100 crore vaccination mark next week. World Bank President David Malpass hails India for successful COVID vaccination drive. IMF commends India's swift and substantial response to corona pandemic. Uttar Pradesh to get 7 new medical colleges this month. 15 Dalit organizations demand stern action against those responsible for brutal murder of farmers' protest site near Singhu border. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to embark on a 5-day visit to Israel today. Unseasonal rain claims 9 lives in Kerala. 12 persons still missing. And in football, India beat Nepal 3-0 to clinch SAF championship for the 8th time. Skipper Sunil Chhetri equals Lionel Messi's record of 80 international goals. As India is on the verge of vaccinating 100 crore people against COVID-19, All India Radio salutes all the doctors, nurses and others who are making this possible. At the same time, we caution our listeners that the battle against COVID is not yet over. We appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and also help others get vaccinated. During the festival season, please follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. India's corona vaccination coverage has crossed 97 crore 62 lakh mark. More than 97 crore 62 lakh 92,000 doses have been administered till now in the country under the nationwide vaccination drive. Health Ministry said more than 38 lakh 27,000 vaccine doses were administered yesterday. Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri and Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia launched the anthem of India's COVID-19 vaccination yesterday. The song has been sung by eminent singer Kailash. Speaking on the occasion, Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia said government has already administered more than 97 crore corona vaccines in the country. He said it will soon be able to administer 100 crore vaccine doses. Dr. Mandavia said transporting the vaccine from one place to another was a big challenge and this was made possible by everyone's efforts.
97 करोड़ टीका लग गया इस सामूहिक प्रयास का परिणाम है। ये छोटी बात नहीं है क्योंकि वैक्सीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करने के बाद वो लगाने के लिए बहुत बड़ी लॉजिस्टिक चैनल होती है। ये चैलेंज पार करके एक दिन जब 17 सितंबर 2.5 करोड़ डोज एक दिन में एडमिनिस्टर करना एक इंडिया के लिए बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि थी। उसके बाद आने वाले वीक में हम 1000 मिलियन डोज यानी कि 100 करोड़ डोज लगाने में हम सक्सेस रहेंगे।
Addressing the gathering, Mr. Puri said, under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the production and distribution of COVID-19 vaccine is going on successfully and soon the nation will be able to touch the 1 billion mark of administering vaccine doses. He said it is not a mere government program but a mass movement.
प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में कुछ ही रोज में हम 1 बिलियन 100 करोड़ वैक्सीन डोजेस का टारगेट हम कर लेंगे एंड द जर्नी इज स्टिल ऑन। हम 1500 टन मेडिकल सप्लाईज, मास्क, वेंटिलेटर्स बाहर से स्पेशल फ्लाइट्स पे लाए। देश के अंदर हमने 900 टन मेडिकल सप्लाईज डिस्ट्रीब्यूट की गई। एक सरकारी कार्यक्रम नहीं रहा, एक जन आंदोलन बन गया।
World Bank President David Malpass has hailed India for the successful COVID vaccination drive. During his meeting with Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in the US, Mr. Malpass thanked India for the country's global role in the production and distribution of the COVID vaccine. Mr. Malpass reiterated the international financial institutions' strong commitment to India across all World Bank entities, including the International Finance Corporation and Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. A World Bank statement maintained that both Ms. Sitaraman and Mr. Malpass held talks on the efforts taken by India on climate change. Both emphasized the need for scaling up climate finance for achieving effective and impactful development projects in line with nationally determined contributions and development goals it stated. The International Monetary Fund has commended Indian government's swift and substantial response to the COVID-19 pandemic and noted that there is the possibility of a faster than expected recovery. The IMF said its directors commended the Indian government's response to the pandemic, which includes scaled-up support to the vulnerable groups, monetary policy easing and liquidity provision, accommodative financial sector and regulatory policies, and continued structural reforms. IMF's Executive Board held consultations with India to assess the state of its economy and finances. The IMF said, despite the pandemic, India continues to introduce structural reforms, including labor reforms and a privatization plan. The IMF noted that India is among the fastest growing economies in the world in the decade before the pandemic, lifting millions out of poverty.
As the trials are going on in the country to provide COVID-19 vaccine to children, a child-friendly vaccination center has already been set up in Madhya Pradesh. The first of its kind child vaccination center has been set up in Jabalpur. Our correspondent reports the center is so attractive that even Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan could not resist himself from sharing the pictures of the center. Our report.
This child-friendly COVID vaccination center has been prepared by Jabalpur Smart City. Vaccination will take place in one room of this two-room vaccination center decorated with attractive pictures. While in the other room, after getting the vaccine, children will spend half an hour playing with toys. Nidhi Singh Rajput, CEO, Jabalpur Smart City, told AIR News that this unique effort has been made to remove the fear of injection from the minds of children.
जबलपुर स्मार्ट सिटी ने जबलपुर के स्वास्थ्य विभाग के साथ मिलकर एक डेडिकेटेड किड्स कोविड वैक्सीनेशन सेंटर बनाया है, जो देश में संभवतः पहला है। उद्देश्य ये है कि जब बच्चे अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ आएं, तो उनको ये भय न लगे कि हम कोई इंजेक्शन लगवाने या वैक्सीन लगवाने जा रहे हैं। वो खुशी खुशी उन्हें ऐसा महसूस हो कि हम एक प्ले एरिया में आ रहे हैं और खेल खेल में ही उनको वैक्सीन लगे।
The child-friendly COVID vaccination center have a variety of swings for the children's entertainment, feeding room for mothers, diapers and sanitary pad vending machines, and sitting arrangements for parents. Apart from this, a small park has also been developed for the children. With Surbhi Tiwari from Jabalpur, Sanjeev Sharma, Bhopal.
Uttar Pradesh will get 7 new medical colleges this month. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate these medical colleges during his visit to Siddharthnagar on October 25th. Addressing media persons in Siddharthnagar, the Chief Minister said that the National Medical Commission has given its approval to 7 newly constructed medical colleges. More from a correspondent.
Addressing media persons in Siddharthnagar, the Chief Minister said that the National Medical Commission has given its approval to 7 newly constructed medical colleges in the state.
मुझे बताते हुए प्रसन्नता कि नेशनल मेडिकल कमीशन ने जो 7 प्रदेश के मेडिकल कॉलेजेस थे, इनको मान्यता दे दी है, जिसमें सिद्धार्थनगर का इस मेडिकल कॉलेज को भी मान्यता मिली है। सिद्धार्थनगर जनपद से 7 नए मेडिकल कॉलेजेस का उद्घाटन प्रधानमंत्री जी करेंगे, जिनमें एटा है, हरदोई, गाजीपुर, मिर्जापुर, देवरिया और प्रतापगढ़।
Reaffirming his government's commitment to open at least 1 medical college in each district, the Chief Minister said that earlier only Gorakhpur had a medical college in the region, but in the last 4.5 years, various other districts have also got medical colleges. He said that AIIMS in Gorakhpur is ready and will be inaugurated soon. Aditya Shukla, AIR News, Gorakhpur.
Russia has recorded 1,000 COVID-related deaths in a single day for the first time since the pandemic began. The figure had been rising all week, with the Kremlin blaming the Russian people for not taking up vaccination. Only about a third of the population has been vaccinated. Russia's figure of 222,000 COVID deaths is the highest in Europe. The number of active COVID cases in Russia is around 750,000 and the overall infections is now nearly 8 million.
Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah is on a 3-day visit to Andaman and Nicobar Islands. On the second day of his visit yesterday, he interacted with party workers and intellectuals in Port Blair. Speaking on the occasion, he said that unlike former governments, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has developed a new work culture. Now, from foundation laying to inauguration of government schemes are being done by the Modi government. Earlier, it used to take years to do that. He said that the BJP-led government has given a chance to everyone to uplift his status. The Home Minister said that all the islanders should remove the concept of mainland island from their minds. He said A&N is the beating heart of India. Andaman Nicobar is an integral part of the country and it is a land of supreme sacrifices by our freedom fighters. It is a land of great holy pilgrimage. By renaming the name of Ross Island to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Island, PM Narendra Modi has revived Netaji's memories, a legendary freedom fighter.
नेताजी के स्वप्नों का भारत बनाना, वीर सावरकर के स्वप्न का भारत बनाना, ढेर सारे ज्ञात अज्ञात नामी अनामी शहीदों के स्वप्नों का भारत बनाने की जिम्मेदारी आज की युवा पीढ़ी पर है, हम लोगों पर। और मित्रों, मैं फिर से एक बार कल भी कहा था, आज भी कह रहा हूं कि हमें आजादी के लिए लड़ने का मौका नहीं मिला, हमारा जन्म ही नहीं हुआ, परंतु भारत के लिए जीने का मौका हमसे कोई नहीं छीन सकता। हमारे जीवन को हम भारत के विकास के लिए, भारत की उन्नति के लिए और भारत के गौरव के लिए समर्पित करना चाहे तो कोई नहीं रोक सकता।
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. India's COVID vaccination coverage crosses 97 crore 62 lakh mark. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia says India will achieve 100 crore vaccination mark next week. World Bank President David Malpass hails India for successful COVID vaccination drive. IMF commends India's swift and substantial response to corona pandemic. Uttar Pradesh to get 7 new medical colleges this month. 15 Dalit organizations demand stern action against those responsible for brutal murder at farmers' protest site near Singhu border. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to embark on a 5-day visit to Israel today. Unseasonal rain claims 9 lives in Kerala. 12 persons still missing. And in football, India beat Nepal 3-0 to clinch SAF championship for the 8th time. Skipper Sunil Chhetri equals Lionel Messi's record of 80 international goals. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
आजादी के आंदोलन के खजाने में ऐसे ढेरों शब्द जिन्होंने बदल दिए इतिहास, तारीख बदलने वाले लफ्जों पर आकाशवाणी समाचार ला रहा है विशेष कार्यक्रम धरोहर हर सोमवार।
Welcome back. You're listening to the morning news. 15 organizations of the Dalit community met Chairman of the National Commission for Scheduled Caste, NCSC Vijay Sampla, and demanded stern action against those responsible for the brutal murder of a man at the site of farmers' protest near Singhu border. The mutilated body of Lakhbir Singh was found hanging on Friday at farmers' protest site. Mr. Sampla said they are expecting a report from the Haryana government over the incident and it will then decide the next course of action. He said NCSC has already sent a notice to DGP Haryana and Chief Secretary to take strict action and has sought a report over the gruesome incident. The Commission's chairman is also planning to go to the victim's hometown, Taran in Punjab, and meet his family members. Mr. Sampla said farmer leaders cannot wash off the hands of the entire incident as all accused were part of the protesters. He added that the spot where they hanged Lakhbir Singh is also near the stage. National Scheduled Caste Alliance, Bharatiya Bodh Sangh, Ravidas Vishwa Mahapeeth, Delhi, Valmiki Mahapanchayat were among the organizations that met the NCSC chairman. Bharatiya Bodh Sangh President Bante Sangpriya Rahul said they were distressed with the incident. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will be on a 5-day official visit to Israel from today at the invitation of the alternate Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Israel, Yair Lapid. This will be his first visit to the country as External Affairs Minister. He will hold a bilateral meeting with Mr. Lapid. He will also call on the President, the Prime Minister and the Knesset Speaker. The External Affairs Minister will interact with Indian origin Jewish community in Israel, Indologists, Indian students who are currently pursuing their education in Israel universities and business people including from the high-tech industries. External Affairs Ministry said the visit will also be an occasion to pay tribute to the valiant Indian soldiers who laid their lives in the region, especially during the First World War. India and Israel elevated bilateral relations to a strategic partnership to the historic visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Israel in July 2017.
The second edition of Naval Commanders Conference of 2021 will be held in New Delhi from tomorrow till the 22nd of this month. The conference serves as a platform for naval commanders to discuss important maritime matters at the military strategic level, as well as interact with senior government officials through an institutionalized forum. Due to the rapidly changing geostrategic situation of the region, the significance and importance of the conference is manifold. It is an institutionalized platform to deliberate, direct, devise, and decide issues of utmost importance, which will shape the future course of Indian Navy. During the conference, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will address and interact with the naval commanders on matters pertaining to national security. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in the morning news. It will continue till the 15th of August 2022. Listeners can send their responses to the question over WhatsApp on 8826546262 or through email on amritmahotsavquiz@prasarbharati.gov.in. And now, let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News, Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
On 17th October in 1940, the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, had chosen Acharya Vinoba Bhave as the first satyagrahi to start individual satyagraha. It is said that if Mahatma Gandhi's political guru was Gopal Krishna Gokhale, then his spiritual disciple was Acharya Vinoba Bhave.
The movement of individual satyagraha was launched by Gandhiji as a protest against the British colonial government forcing India into the Second World War without the consent of the Indian people. By May 15, 1941, 25,000 satyagrahis had courted arrest and demonstrated the commitment of the people towards the freedom movement.
Acharya Vinoba Bhave went to jail for individual satyagraha and the Quit India movement. During his period in jail, Acharya Vinoba read and wrote a lot and wrote 3 major books: Swaraj Shastra, Sthit Pragya Darshan and Ishavasya Vrit. He was released from jail on July the 9th, 1945 and returned to Pavanar in Maharashtra and continued working there under directions of Gandhiji.
Independent India had seen the sacrifice of Bapu and the division of the country. Acharya Vinoba Bhave reached Delhi and started the resettlement of Mave Muslims of Rajasthan.
The first meeting of Mahatma Gandhi and Vinoba Bhave on 7 June 1916 has its own simplicity. On that day, Vinoba reached Mahatma Gandhi's Kosharab ashram in Ahmedabad and when the two met for the first time, they realized that there was an eternal bond between them. This bond continued throughout Vinoba Bhave's life as he stayed true to Gandhian philosophy forever.
His most important contribution was redistribution of land among sharecroppers under Bhudan movement through a change of heart of big landowners, which was among Mahatma Gandhi's core beliefs. He also raised awareness about the negative effects of alcoholism.
भारतीय लोकमत, भारतीय संस्कृति, भारतीय हवा, ये तीनों शराब के लिए प्रतिकूल है। शराब में हानियां बहुत है। जहाँ तक गरीब जनता का सवाल है, वहाँ तक अगर हम शराब को नहीं हटाएंगे तो गरीबी हटेगी नहीं। गरीबों का अत्यंत नुकसान होगा।
With his footing firmly on ground realities, Acharya Vinoba Bhave thought about peaceful revolution of Bhudan.
Talking exclusively to All India Radio, eminent Gandhian Damayanti Pani, Secretary, Madhya Pradesh Gandhi Smarak Nidhi, Chhattarpur, talked about the philosophy of Bhudan and Acharya Vinoba Bhave's role in it.
विनोबा जी का भूदान यज्ञ वसुधैव कुटुंब का जीवंत उदाहरण है। विनोबा जी भूदान यज्ञ में कहते हैं, जब समुद्र लांघ नहीं सकते, आकाश को बांट नहीं सकते, सूर्य व चंद्रमा को छू नहीं सकते, तो पृथ्वी भूमि को कैसे बांट सकते हैं। उस जमीन पर पृथ्वी पर रहने वाले सभी प्राणियों का बराबर का हक है। विनोबा भावे ने 7 मार्च 1951 को सेवाग्राम आश्रम छोड़ दिया और अगले 13 वर्ष और 1 महीने में उन्होंने 43,000 मील पैदल यात्रा की। 6 अप्रैल 1964 को वे सेवाग्राम पहुंचे। देश के 5,50,000 गाँव में से 1,60,000 गाँवों ने ग्रामदान किया। भूदान आंदोलन को 50 लाख एकड़ जमीन मिली और उसमें से 13 लाख एकड़ जमीन वितरित कर दी गई। सर्वे भूमि गोपाल की। इस तरीके से उन्होंने जय हिंद की जगह जय जगत का उद्घोष किया।
The grandson of English poet Lord Alfred Tennyson, Hallam Tennyson, who was with Acharya Vinoba during his Padyatra, says in his book The Saint on the March,
even in saints, there is a tiny bit of possessiveness, pride due to the sacrifices they have made. But Vinoba never allowed any of these to affect him, and he never told anyone to emulate him.
All India Radio salutes the Padyatri saint who remained committed to Gandhian philosophy and cause of landless peasants throughout his life. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Union Minister for Education and Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Dharmendra Pradhan inaugurated 29th Hunar Haat at Rampur in Uttar Pradesh yesterday. The Hunar Haat has been organized by the Union Ministry for Minority Affairs as a part of a series of 75 Hunar Haats to be organized across the country under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Union Minister for Minority Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi and Union Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs and Culture Arjun Ram Meghwal were also present on the occasion. Over 700 artisans and craftsmen from across the nation are participating in the Hunar Haat, which will go on till 25th of October.
Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha dedicated key urban transformation projects of Srinagar to the public yesterday. These projects worth 40.34 crore rupees were executed by Srinagar Municipal Corporation, SMC, and Srinagar Smart City Limited. Over 1 lakh employees have been recruited by India's 4 biggest IT firms, TCS, Infosys, Wipro and HCL, in the first 6 months of the fiscal year. That's 13 times more than the corresponding period of the previous year after the pandemic had struck. And it's almost twice that in the corresponding period of the pre-pandemic year, 2019-20. It clearly indicates that the demand for talent has picked up in the IT sector. TCS, which has 5.2 lakh employees, led the hiring momentum. The company said it plans to make offers to 75,000 freshers this year, a record for the company. Infosys has increased its fresher hiring target for this year to 45,000 from 35,000 that it had planned 3 months ago.
India clinched the South Asian Football Federation SAF Championship for the 8th time, defeating Nepal 3-0 in Male last night. Indian skipper Sunil Chhetri scored the first goal of the match in the 49th minute when he headed in Pritham Kothal's lofted pass. The 37-year-old Indian captain equalled the iconic footballer Lionel Messi with his 80th international strike and became the second highest goal scorer in international football among active players. Suresh Singh Wangjam scored the second goal minutes after Chhetri's strike. Sahel Abdul Samad further increased India's lead by scoring the third goal just 2 minutes before ending the game. India remained undefeated in this edition, having earlier played out draws with Bangladesh and Sri Lanka and then beating Nepal and Maldives. Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur has congratulated Indian football team on winning the title. In a tweet, Mr. Thakur said, Sunil Chhetri scripted history as he equalled Lionel Messi's record of making 80 goals in international men's football.
In Kerala, as rains continue, relief and rescue operations are in full swing in affected regions. 9 deaths were officially confirmed and 12 persons are missing in various rain-related incidents in the state. More from our correspondent.
In the major landslide in Plapalli in Kootikal in Kottayam district yesterday, the death toll rose to 7 as one more body was recovered. Search operations are continuing for the missing ones. Multiple landslides were reported from Kokkayar in Idukki, where 8 persons went missing. Heavy rain is hampering the rescue operations in the region. Central Kerala is facing heavy rain since morning today with water level rising in major rivers. Widespread damage is being reported from across the state. Thousands of people are being shifted to over 320 relief camps in the state. National and state disaster forces, armed forces, police personnel and civil volunteers are coordinating the rescue and relief measures. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
Light rainfall in Delhi this morning has brought the temperature down by a couple of notches. The Met Department has forecast generally cloudy sky with moderate rain today. The maximum temperature will hover around 33 degrees Celsius and minimum around 21 degrees Celsius.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for the rest of the country. Mumbai may experience partly cloudy sky. Kolkata will have generally cloudy sky with few spells of rain or thunder showers. And Chennai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. In the northeast, Guwahati, Imphal, Shillong, Aizawl, Kohima, Itanagar, Gangtok, Agartala will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. In the countdown to COP26, Financial Express quoting Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman writes, India's commitments till 2030 almost fulfilled. India invites Pakistan regional powers for NSA-level talks on Afghanistan, informs the Asian Age. Amid Chinese build-up at LAC, IF chief visits Ladakh, says the Asian Age. Winter knocking Delhi air turns poor, writes the Times of India, adding experts suggest strict vigil against polluting activities. 8 killed as rain causes havoc in Kerala, reports the Hindu. Central government asks states to ensure edible oil prices cut, notes the Statesman. Income Tax Department detects under-invoicing of imports, writes the Business Line. And finally, Dravid sheds reluctance, set to take over as India head coach till 2023 World Cup, says Hindustan Times.
And now, before I end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India's COVID vaccination coverage crosses 97 crore 62 lakh mark. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia says India will achieve 100 crore vaccination mark next week. World Bank President hails India for successful COVID vaccination drive. IMF comments India's swift and substantial response to corona pandemic. UP to get 7 new medical colleges this month. 15 Dalit organizations demand stern action against those responsible for brutal murder at farmers' protest site near Singhu border. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to embark on a 5-day visit to Israel today. Unseasonal rain claims 9 lives in Kerala, 12 persons still missing. And in football, India beat Nepal 3-0 to clinch SAF championship for the 8th time. Skipper Sunil Chhetri equals Lionel Messi's record of 80 international goals. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.